Sunday school when you were a kid. I grew up in a family where you went to Sunday school, you went to church when the doors were open. And I remember being a kid in Sunday school, they used to have one of those felt boards. Yes, I'm old. Even if you don't know what that is, Google it. Basically what it was though is they put these, it was a green felt board where they put Bible character pictures, they'd stick them up there. And that's how they taught the story. They didn't have computers, they didn't have VeggieTales. That's how it used to be done. And one of the stories I remember the most from those times with the felt board was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they had them up on the felt board with the little fire around them, and they told their story, but it didn't really do justice to the situation they were in. These three guys, like Daniel, had been sent from Israel into exile in Babylon, and they had become rulers in the kingdom. God promoted them. He used them to help the Babylonians do what God's will was for them. But there came a time where they have to face the ultimate resolve test. Are they going to ride or die with God? Because old crazy King Nebuchadnezzar decided, you know what, I'm going to build a huge statue, probably fashioned after him. And everybody, when they play the music, everybody has to stop, they have to drop to their knees, and they have to worship this idol. Well, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego couldn't do that. They knew the reason that their country was in exile in the first place is because the nation of Israel had worshipped idols. And they weren't about to commit that sin again and anger God even more. So when the statue came out and the music played, they refused to bow. Well, crazy Neb, he was furious. And he said to him, all right, guys, you've been good servants to me. I'm going to give you one more chance. Right now, we're going to play the music and you hit the ground or you hit the fiery furnace. And they said, you can play it if you want, but we are not gonna bow. And then they said something that it blows my mind. They said to him, you can throw us into that fiery furnace, but I believe God's gonna set us free. But listen to this, what they said next. But even if he doesn't, I'm not bowing. And that is just like, wow. Even if God doesn't come through for us, we're going to come through for him. Well, Neb, he had enough. He had them bound. He heated the furnace up 10 times more than it had ever been heated. The guys who actually drugged them to the furnace and threw them in, when they got near it, they died from the fire and the heat. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they got thrown in, and King Nebuchadnezzar looked in, and he's like, hold on a second. They're in there. They're alive. How did they survive? And didn't we only throw in 3? There's 4 dudes roaming around in there untied. And what happened was Jesus in bodily form came to them. And what you need to understand there is when you ride or die with God, God's going to ride or die with you. He came into the furnace with them and kept them safe. And they came out of the furnace and they were safe. And what ended up happening is revival spread throughout the kingdom of Babylon because they refused to bow. They had the attitude of no matter what, to the point where they even said, even if God doesn't come through, I'm not going to bow. And I know in my life this year I faced some situations where I was just like, God, I can't do this anymore. But I had to say to God, I need you to help me, but even if you don't, I'm resolving I'm not going to bow. And I believe that's the challenge God has for all of us, to be so committed, to so ride or die, that no matter what, we're going to ride or die with God. And we're going to trust He's going to help us, but even if He doesn't help us, we're still committed. And I believe that God will help you. We need to follow these 3 guys' attitude of old Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. We need to resolve, I'm riding or dying with God no matter what.